In the electric dusk of Shanghai's skyline, where the hum of entertainment never quite sleeps and ambition echoes louder than truth, something cracked. Not a stage light, not a scripted smile, but a voice, long silenced and now impossible to ignore. Zhao Lusi, the 26-year-old sweetheart of Chinese dramas, the girl once praised for her radiant charm and tireless work ethic, didn't just post on Weibo on August 2nd. She detonated a truth bomb, wrapped in screenshots, legal claims and raw exhaustion. "You don't need to ban me," she declared to the universe, and to her management company Galaxy Cool Entertainment. "I'm done." Those 4 words, typed late into the evening, reverberated louder than any applause she had ever received. For months, she had been quietly unraveling behind the scenes, collapsing under the pressure of relentless filming schedules, battling anxiety, depression, and reportedly even aphasia, a condition that left her struggling to speak. Yet even as her body screamed for rest, the machinery of fame kept turning. Contracts, deadlines, expectations, and behind the curtain a darker force, betrayal from those paid to protect her. At precisely 5 p.m. on that fateful Sunday, Zhao Lusi tagged Galaxy Cool Entertainment without a single word. No hashtags, no dramatic captions, just silence louder than any storm. 3 hours and 41 minutes later she broke it. What followed wasn't a rant. It was a calculated revelation, forged over 8 months of private negotiations, public restraint, and personal breakdown. In her post, she peeled back the gloss of stardom to reveal a narrative that was chillingly familiar to many in the industry, but rarely voiced. She had canceled brand deals due to health issues, a desperate attempt to lighten the crushing workload. Her company, she claimed, had assured her they would take responsibility, but when the invoices came, it wasn't the company paying the price. It was her. "You promised to handle this," she wrote, "but in the end I paid." Even more shocking was her claim that Galaxy Cool had moved money from her studio accounts without consent, transferring 2.05 million yuan, roughly $360,000, and allegedly manipulating her financial team into signing fraudulent documents. "Were you going to keep paying more without asking me?" she challenged. The rhetorical question landed like a hammer. This wasn't a mere contract dispute. It was the unmasking of a power structure, one that thrives on silence, loyalty, and the illusion of mutual interest. Zhao Lusi admitted she regretted renewing her contract 2 years ago, calling it a moment of weakness, one that now chained her to a binding agreement lasting until 2030. With more than 4 years left, she stood in a no-man's land. Too bound to walk away, too broken to stay. "They're not in a hurry," she wrote bitterly, "but I'm the one in pain." Pain that had forced her to halt production of The Lover, an anticipated drama derailed by her health collapse. The crew had been let go. The project had dissolved, and she was left holding the bill. "Is this how it ends?" she asked. "A disbanded crew? Everyone fleeing? Me paying all the bills?" Her tone turned from despair to confrontation when she exposed the company's insistence that she remain silent to avoid being blacklisted. But her response was unflinching. "I'm not kind. I'm not noble. But you don't need to ban me. I'm done." This was no longer just a dispute over money. It was a battle for dignity, autonomy, and survival in a system that too often chews up the very people it celebrates. And she brought receipts. Screenshots of conversations between her and Galaxy Cool revealed cold legalese and veiled threats. When she questioned the legality of the payments, the response was chilling in its dismissal. "We've consulted our lawyers. If you think it's illegal, go ahead and sue." So she did. Adding a deeply personal layer to the unfolding crisis, Zhao Lusi published her July 16 psychological evaluation, revealing clinically diagnosed anxiety and depression. She didn't hide behind metaphors or euphemisms. She spoke directly to her fans, urging them to prioritize safety and legal protection in any emergency. "If I had called the police back then, I wouldn't even be able to say the word legal today. So remember this. In any emergency, don't trust comforting words. Call the police. Always call the police." It was a haunting reflection of just how close she had come to the edge, physically, mentally, professionally. By the end of the night, Zhao Lusi wasn't just trending. She had ignited a national conversation. Her name, once associated with youthful charm and romantic dramas, was now entangled in corporate scandal and mental health advocacy. According to insiders, if the current legal battle fails to sever ties, she may face up to 4 more years of restrictions under her existing contract. For an actress in her prime, that's an eternity, a professional death sentence. But if her Weibo post is any indication, Zhao Lusi is prepared to risk it all. Not for fame, not for revenge, but for truth. And perhaps for the first time we're seeing the real her. Not the character she plays on screen, but the woman who dared to say enough. There's something eerie about how familiar her story feels. The overwork, the isolation, the quiet manipulations masked as care. It's the kind of exploitation often whispered about in corridors of power, in green rooms, in late-night calls between exhausted talents and their parents. But rarely is it brought into the daylight with such clarity and courage. What Zhao Lusi did on August 2nd was more than a public accusation. It was a declaration of war against a system that many have only dared resist in private. She named names. She posted evidence. She refused to be gaslit into silence. As the internet erupts in speculation, support, and skepticism, one thing is certain. This saga is far from over. Will Zhao Lusi be able to walk away from Galaxy Cool with her career intact? Will other artists follow her lead? Will this case set a new precedent for transparency and accountability in Chinese entertainment? Or will the forces that made her a star also conspire to bury her? For now, Zhao Lusi waits, not in silence but in defiance. And the world watches not just because she's famous but because in standing up she gave voice.